Hey guys, Alcides Pelzer here, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about the things that have been keeping her silent for way too long. I am super excited to come to you with another morning press. Hey, it's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. And so you guys that have been following along with the morning press this week, you know that it's been fire, fire, fire because I am determined to make sure that you make sure that you do not leave January without completing something. So I thank everybody that's been coming in, sharing, engaging in the comments. Those of you that have been reaching out to me, those of you that came and joined the free Facebook community, all of you over in the free Facebook community. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Michael, I see you. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Brittany. And so I'm super excited because we've been we've really been like hitting on some hard topics. Let's just be honest this morning. I've been kind of like beating you up all week, and it's for a reason. Oh, shout out to my bro, hey Harold LaFleur. Get your I am enough hoodie. He has them, and I am enough t-shirts. He has some. Definitely connect with him, Harold LaFleur. I'll make sure I'll tag his stuff down in the comments. Um, but I found that, and this is going to hurt. Now, y'all thought this week you thought I was really like giving you to like y'all thought the Philly came back, but today is going to be a little tougher because I'm questioning what's your why and how deep is your why. And there's a reason why I'm asking this question is that I found over time that people give a very surface why to be a part of the conversation, possibly just to be able to have something to say, or we get so inundated with people saying the same exact things that we go and we'll repeat what we've heard. So people say, my why is financial freedom. My why is my kid, or my kids. My why is my mother, my spouse. But I have to give you this 1-2 punch, like this one. If that is your why, does it cause you to move? And that's why I had to come with this on a Friday, because this is the thing. People are like, just got paid. It's Friday. Oh, party. Oh, and I gotta say, okay, that's great. And it's Friday and it's the weekend, and you about to do whatever you do for the weekend, but are you just living for the weekend? See, when you have a why that is deep enough, then you won't just live for the weekend. When you have a why that is deep enough, then you won't just live for Friday and a paycheck. You'll live for something greater. And so I have to go and ask that question is, how deep is your why? No, like real talk. Are you somebody that has a surface why? And granted, not no tea, no shade. I got my teacup. Look, I got my I'm waiting for my water to boil. But no tea, no shade. But the reality comes in is that we don't have a strong enough why, because your why should be literally pushing you into your next level. When you wake up and look into the eyes of your children, does it make you go and sit down and write for 3 days? When you wake up and you look at your bank account, does it make you want to go and actually make the extra money and do your side hustle or your other business? Does it make you want to go and talk to 5 people on the phone, even though you're an introvert? That's what happens when you have a deeper why. And I want to give you this kind of like, I guess, inspiration, because I know that for me, my why was different when I was working a job than what it is now. And because I did not think about having a surface why or having a deeper why, I never made the transition to saying what my why would be. My why when I was working a job was for freedom. It was the freedom of being able to go and be with my children. Because those of you that follow me, those of you that may be new, you may not have heard this story, but those that follow me know that I have literally been the one that has gotten written up at my job because I had requested off, was not given the day off. So I took my dinner break to go see my children's musical. No, not even a musical. I went to see their concert. And so I took that time off because my why was freedom. My why was being there for my children. And it was being such a huge influence as a single mom because guess what? If I'm not there, then there is something I'm not preparing them for. There's something that I'm not doing that I have to find a surrogate to be able to do. And so I did not want that anymore. And so my why was freedom. Well, I done been off my job almost 2 years now, y'all. My why changed. And you guys know I come to you with conversations that most coaches aren't gonna, they want you to say, no, your why is your children and your why is your spouse and your why is your bank account. That's cute in the beginning. In the beginning, that is cute. But I need you to go a little deeper because guess what? I need you to go a little deeper because if you make the success on a surface why, then you'll feel like you've arrived. Mm, uh, mm. If I make the success on a why that was surface, then I'll feel like I arrived and I will not try to attain my highest level of capacity. I will not try to reach my highest level of success. I'll just go and be okay with average. See, there's a difference. And this is again, this is that part that people don't want to talk about. But if it's surface, and I'm gonna touch on some things that y'all can go ahead, send the ambulance in the comments. Y'all can go ahead, send the people with the hard hats in the comments because somebody needs this. If your why is your children, then when your children graduate high school, you'll go into depression because your why cannot be them because they are attempting to create their own lives and they're going forward and doing their own things. It's not to say that you don't still want them successful. It's not to say that you won't still do things for them, but you can no longer say that your children are your why because your children ain't there no more. So it shifted. So now if your children aren't there and you're still saying they're your why, how are they your why? Are you just saying it because that is the rehearsed thing that you've been able to say for year after year after year? Or are you saying it because when you look in your children's eye, you say, okay, I'm going to build this for not just me and you, but for your children too? See, there has to be something that strengthens you so much that it makes you get up at 4 a.m. Your why should be so deep that it makes you want to go and fight for it. It makes you stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing work. It makes you go and get into the inbox. Listen, as an introvert, y'all look at me and say, no, she's not an introvert. No, my why is so deep that you're not going to see me as an introvert. You're going to see me as the CEO of World Voice Leap. Oh, that sparked somebody. That I'm going to let that go ahead. Let it filter through your shana. My why is so deep that when I show up, I am no longer showing up as the introvert. Not to say that I'm showing up trying to be something I'm not, but I'm showing up and giving it my all. I'm going all in for what it is that I want to achieve. Why? Because if I go all in, then I'll be able to achieve it. So guess what? That means as the introvert, I'm going to be on stages and you're not going to realize that I'm an introvert when I'm on that stage. You're not going to realize I'm an introvert when I'm live streaming. streaming. You're not going to realize it. And then when I'm off stage, you're going to look at me and say, oh, she is an introvert. Ah, sis, why are you in the corner by yourself? Everybody else over here. Listen, because I'm going to show up and I'm going to do what it is that I need to do in order, because my why is deep enough. How deep is your why? How deep is your why? Come on. Come on. How deep is your why? Are you willing to actually go the distance? Are you willing to actually show up? This is the thing. When you look at basketball players and football players, when you look at people, athletes that are actually making their why is so deep that they go and work out after the workout. Their why is so deep that they go and work out before the workout. Their why is so deep that they will go and they will, come on, in the off season, they still working out. They still on the field. They still in the gym. And it's funny because my kids had to scare my girls. They're in field hockey. And like a week ago, they got a message that, okay, and the game is coming up on Sunday. Now, mind you, field hockey season is over. And they started spazzing because they're like, wait a minute. What do you mean the game is Sunday? And literally, they went into athletic mode because immediately they didn't say, oh my goodness, what I'm going to do? Oh no, we got a game. No, they said, do we really have a game? Because if so, I'm about to go do sprints. Is your why so deep that literally if somebody throws a monkey wrench in what it is that you were supposed to do, if they go and they pop something up on you, are you able to say, okay, I wasn't ready for this, but I'm going to get ready? How many of y'all are going to get ready? Come on. Come on. Come on. Lila said a lot of us are too superficial. That's the reason why it is not in their vocabulary. Come on. We need to peel back these layers. Exactly. And the why has to be deep enough. So I have to say, okay, if somebody shows up and says, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, or is your why deep enough that you're going to show up? If somebody asks you today, I need you to show up for an interview, are you going to say, okay, well, I'm at work. I can't do it right now. But listen, I got a lunch break. Because see, when my why was deep enough that it was that I wanted freedom, when that was my why, on my lunch break, I was listening to audible books. I was listening to podcasts. I was listening to messages. On my break, I was going and I was making phone calls for my business. Before I got to work, I was going and I was getting on the phone with people. After I got off work, I was going and getting on the phone with people. I was doing interviews. I was speaking at events. I was literally would get off of work, go home, get my stuff, get my stuff together, and get right to the airport. Listen, is your why deep enough? Because if it's not, you're not going to make it past first quarter. How many of you have ever been watching a game and you looking at the players like, come on, what are y'all doing? Y'all don't even look like y'all want to play. Y'all not even showing up. How many of you have seen that? You've literally gone and looked at people and go, y'all not even showing up. I need you to show up. Show up like you want this win. So it's Friday. And for some, that means that they're going to go out and they're going to party. And for some, that means that they're going to go out and they may drink a little bit. They may find some time with family or friends. But I need you to show up and say, I'm going all in. I need you to literally say, this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and get the book done. This weekend, I'm going to go ahead and make these phone calls. This weekend is not just going to be about rest and relaxation. Yes, I can take time out for me. Trust and believe. I am a big advocate of self-care. And I had to go back to learning how to take care of myself. Because when you're working a job, your job is not caring about your self care. Most businesses don't care about your self care, they care about the business. That's one of the reasons why many of them have gone out of business because they cared more about the business than the people. That's a whole nother other topic. Whole nother other topic. But I need you to have this understanding that guess what? There's going to be some times where I got to get up and it's still nighttime outside. So I I remember my ex-husband coming to me one day and my oldest daughter had went and said to him, "Mommy be waking us up at nighttime." What is that? I said, "Wait, what?" He said, "She said you be waking them up at nighttime." And so I'm like, what? And I had to realize it wasn't that I was waking them up at night. It was I was waking them up so early that it still looked like night. It was still dark outside. Are some of you so destined and so determined to get this thing done? So for me, it was make as a single mom, it was getting my kids to school. And in order for me to do that with 3 kids, I had to get up early enough to make sure everybody was up, ready, and completely ready to get out the door at the same time, take them to before care so that I had enough time to get to work. So that meant we got up and it was still dark outside. Obviously, my oldest daughter didn't like that. Obviously, my oldest daughter didn't like that. And it's funny joke, she's actually an early bird now. She's my 4 a.m. girl now. So she didn't like it at the moment. She loves it now. But are you willing to do it? Are you willing to get up an hour earlier in order for you to spend time doing something? Are you willing to get up an hour earlier or stay up an hour later to write and type your book? Are you willing to are you got to be willing to do it? And the only way you're going to be willing to do it is if your why is deep enough. I get it. Let's just let's call a spade a spade. Life happens. And I get many of people that'll tell me, oh, but I'm tired and oh, I can't do it because it's too much going on and I gotta do this. And you want me to get up and do what? You want me to, I don't want you to do anything. This is the difference. This is the difference between me and other coaches. Other coaches want you to do what they want you to do. They want you to follow their strategy. They want you to follow their plan. They want you to be a replica of them. I'm not that coach. Please never, never confuse me with it. I want you to find what's going to work best for you. And I want you to get up and work on you. And I want you to step forward and be 100% in your business, not mine. That's the difference. We get so accustomed to following people who are like, oh, you got to sound this way. You got to show up this way. I've had many of people that have told me that I got to show up looking a certain way, with my hair a certain way. I told y'all I got off a stage in one event in Texas, and the woman told me I needed to have a waist trainer on. Didn't listen to the message that I shared, didn't see what I was doing as an introvert, didn't see what I was doing as a single mother, just wanted to tell me that I needed a waist trainer on. We focused on the wrong things. So while she was focused on a waist trainer, I was focused on building a business so I could leave my job. Winning. Winning. I'm just saying. So there's another reason why, and you guys know I always give y'all some insight. There's another reason why this was so important for me. Because yesterday I started collecting my stuff for my taxes, putting my stuff together, and really looking at my numbers for 2019 and like really looking at my numbers. And in 2019, I told you guys I lost a $15,000 client. And like it devastated me at the moment. Keep game. I lost that client maybe in like March. Yeah, I lost that client maybe in like March. So we're gonna say April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. So that was about give or take $9,000. Give or take, if I measure it out right. It's give or take about $9,000 that I did not make in 2019. And so I literally I could have spazzed out. I could have said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go get a job. I could have said, I quit. I'm frustrated. I could have took it out on my family. I could have took it out on my friends. I could have did so many things. And I could have allowed myself to quit. Here's the thing. I looked at what I made for 2019, and from what I made and what I would have made if I was working with that client. And there was not that big of a difference. That's a win for me because my why is creating a platform and creating a business where I unmute the mouths of women, the voices of women. I am unmuting their voice. That means the podcast, that means the blog, that means the World Voice Summit, February 1st. That means that's what I was doing. And because that was my goal, I wasn't focused on the same things that other people were focused on. And so when I looked at it, that was a win for me. Somebody else would have gave up because their why wasn't deep enough. Their why would have been surface, especially if it's financial. And you just like, oh, I'm all in this for the money because you got so many people that's saying you can make six figures overnight and you can make this and you can, yeah, I would have been devastated. And I've seen many other people who've been in the same position become devastated and not move forward in their vision and their purpose because their why was a coach told them that they can make $60,000 in a weekend. And so they didn't know how to handle when things didn't work the same way for them. One of the things that I always tell people, especially my clients, I'm always telling them, listen, when it's time, when you make this shift, especially when you make the shift from being at a job to working for yourself full time, it's a mental shift. It takes about 6 months to a year. Anybody telling you anything different, just go on and mom pluck them in the forehead because they lying. So it takes time for you to shift. Stop thinking that it's going to be an overnight success. Stop thinking that it's going to be something that's going to happen instantaneously. It is not. But the reality is if your why is deep enough, then your why is going to allow you to, come on, y'all better catch this. Your why will allow you the space for you to get it right. If your why is surface, your why is only as deep as a puddle. Your why does not give you space to get it right. But if your why is as deep as an ocean, then your why gives you space to get it right. So I may not get it right in year one. Somebody better catch this. I may not get it right in year one. I may not get it right in year two. But year three, watch out, because I'm not stopping, because my why is deep enough that I'm still going. And then year four, you may blow it out the water. And now you done moved from a little dinghy to now you got a little rowboat. Okay, so I'm not swimming in the water. That first year I was trying to swim. But the thing that wasn't the only way for me to get from point A to success. I didn't have to swim. And that's one of the reasons why people like to have that puddle deep. Why? Because I can get across that easy. I can step across that and I reach success. And then I get to jump around and talk about what I did. But when it's deeper, oh man, you may look at me and I only went a little bit of ways, but I put in a lot of effort. I put in a lot of energy. My arms is tired. My legs is tired, but I kept going. And then I moved from swimming to a little dinghy, rowboat. Then I moved from a rowboat, and then I'm in a yacht. And then I moved from a yacht to now I got a cruise ship. See, some of y'all is in your mind, you're trying to go straight from swimming to the cruise ship. But the reality comes in is that when we go from swimming to the cruise ship, then we don't value the things that we were supposed to come in contact with along the way. Somebody gonna catch that later on while they on their way home from work. It's going to click and they're gonna be like, oh, I just caught it. There's something for us to learn along the way. But my why is so deep that it gives me the space to learn it. When my why is shallow, then I fear missing out. FOMO. I go and I'll buy things I don't need. When my why is shallow, I compare myself with other people because I can't focus. I don't need to focus on the journey. Come on. Y'all better catch this. Somebody catch it. When my why is deep, I am focused on getting to the other side. When my why is shallow, I'm comparing myself to other people to see if they made it as far as I did. Because I don't have to put in as much energy. I don't have to put in as much effort. But when my why is deeper, then I'm going the distance. I'm focused. I don't care what they said about me. I don't care what they did to me. I don't care what that person is doing. I can't focus on what that person is doing. It's not that it's not going to hurt. It's not that it's not going to be something that may be painful for you. It's not going to be something that may devastate your business or your brand. It may not be listen, it still may be something that devastates your relationship. It may still be something that makes you side eye your own kids. Listen, I understand that. But when you're in it for the long haul, when you decide that it's deeper, it's not surface, it's deeper, then I'm focused and I'm so focused that I'm going to go and I'm going to look at that and I'm saying, okay, I wasn't intending to come in contact with that, but I'm going to make it work anyway. I wasn't intending on having that conversation, but whew, I'm gonna have a conversation and I'm gonna do what needs to be done. See, what people don't realize is that when you're in business, having the conversations, and we talked about this a couple months back, I think like a month or so back. We talked about you got to be willing to confront be able to have a conversation about the confrontation about whatever is going on. We got to be willing to come up and speak about it, because if not, then it holds us back. It holds that person back. It holds us back. And so people forget that a business is a business, and we always got to go back to that. A business is still going to be a business. Yes, there is a heart part of your business and there's the business part of your business. And they intertwine at times. I get it. I understand. But we have to have that determination that, okay, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep fighting. Look, Nikki said, my God, this is good. She said, my why is deep. So I was focused on getting to the other side. Now that I am implementing the lessons learned along the journey, my why has become deeper, and I now focus on the long haul. That is the purpose of it. I got to be focused on the long haul. So now losing a client is not going to devastate me. Y'all better come on. Because, see, I could have let it devastate me, and that would have been back in March, and then I wouldn't have made the money that I made for the rest of the year. I could have let people leaving devastate me, but I didn't. I keep putting it in God's hands and saying, okay, God, This is the dream that you gave me. This is the vision. You told me write the vision, make it plain. I'm writing the vision, I make it plain, and what's going on? He just says, keep going. Come on. He just says, keep going. There's so many people that are waiting on you. But again, if my why is only surface deep, then I can step over that. If it's only a puddle, I can step over the puddle, and then when I step over the puddle, I think I've arrived. I think that I've done something amazing. And so I'm looking at everybody like, yo, you see that puddle I just stepped over? Your girl stepped over the puddle, y'all. Your girl stepped over the puddle. And I'm out there shouting about stepping over a puddle, and there's somebody else that's running a marathon. There's somebody else that's doing a triathlon. But I'm excited because I jumped over the puddle because I was like, because my why wasn't deep enough. No, no, no. I can't do that. So when I was at a job, my why was freedom. I didn't realize the shift because when I became free, that wasn't my why anymore. See, it was freedom then. And when I broke free, y'all, I did a dance. Hey, you get that shoulder action. Come on, shimmy with it. Listen, I was excited about that thing. But now my why has shifted. Can I ask y'all to ask yourself this question? And I know I've been having y'all write things down this week. I know you're mad at me because I gave you homework and I rightfully don't care. Sorry, not sorry, because we got things to do. I told y'all 2020 is the year that we are completing things. I told y'all January. What did we start off with? Those that missed that first video, go into the free group, see the video. I will complete blank in January of 2020. We're not waiting until February. I will complete blank in January of 2020. So, with that understanding, now I'm saying, okay, there's some other things that I need to understand, some other things I need to do. So, I need you to go back to your notebook. Now, some of y'all write, some of y'all driving. I don't need y'all. Y'all can pull over and write. I don't want you writing and driving. We're not about that life. Y'all come back to the replay. But I need you to write down what's your why. And I need you to be Pacific. Somebody say Pacific. The name of the group is World Voice League. If you go to bit.ly/World Voice Community, it's a free group. It takes you right to the group. I need y'all to be Pacific. Somebody say Pacific. I need you to write down what is your why for 2020. Not what was your why for 2019. Not what was your why for 2016. Not what was your why in 2009. Not what was your why when you had bell bottoms. I know the age of my viewers. I got you. I need you to say, what is your why for 2020? Because if your why is not deep enough, then what you will find yourself doing is showing up to jump over a puddle. We're not doing surface value no more. Come on. Come on. We're not doing no more surface. Come on. Look, Quinn said, pass the collection, please. Look, good morning, Aaron. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Listen, I can't do it. So I got to go ahead and say my why has to be deep enough. And when my why is deep enough, then I got this action going on. I'm in my, I can't pay attention to you. If I focus too much on this side, I'm bound to drown. If I focus too much on this side, I'm bound to what? It'd be a sad day that you out there and you getting it, and then your focus goes to something else, and you go head first into one of them little dinghies that's sitting in the one of them buoys that's sitting in the water. Now you got a concussion. Listen, focus. 2020 is about focus, completion and focus. I told you my word for 2020 is elevation. And in order for me to be able to elevate, I have to be focused and I have to complete things. If I'm not willing to complete things, then what ends up happening is I'm not going to make it off the shore, or I'm only going to make it a couple feet out because my focus, oh, somebody better catch this. My focus will give me the tools I need to make it to the other side. See, some of you right now, you're so focused on what you don't have. No, no, no. Don't focus on what you don't have. Your focus will literally give you what you need to take you to the other side. And so, literally, when I'm focused on what I have, I'll create from what I have in order for me to get to the other side. And at some point, other people will come on. You guys know we talked about that in the videos this week. Somebody else will come and add to what we have, but we got to be willing to start with what we have. And starting with what we have does not mean that I need to ride somebody else's coattails. I'm sorry, that was a brick. I apologize. It's a little early for bricks like that. I apologize. But I need y'all to have that understanding. When I'm focused, I don't need to ride somebody's coattails. When I'm focused, I don't need validation. Because you can't validate me for where I'm going. You can only validate me for what you see. Oh, y'all better. I don't know if y'all hear this morning. I can only validate you for what you see. You can only validate me for what you see. I can only validate you for what I see, for what I know that you're doing or what I see going on. If I don't see something going on, I can't validate you for it. So guess what? If I'm focused on the validation, then I won't make it. So we got work. Y'all ready? Let's get this work, 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 get this work. It's Friday, y'all. Get this work. Let's get this work, work, work. So I need you to write down what is your why for 2020. Specifically, what is your why for 2020? And when you write down that why, I need you to go back and look at that why every morning. Every morning for the next week, I need you to look at that why. Let me tell you something. If you're not willing, when you look at that why, it don't spark you to go start to write. It don't spark you to go dance again. It doesn't spark you to go in the kitchen and cook. It doesn't spark you to go do something amazing. It doesn't spark you to go and seek out speaking opportunities. Then your why is surface. It's not deep enough. Let's go. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board. It's not deep enough. When I look at my kids' pictures and I listen to the conversations that my children have, and I listen to the things that they've been able to say, and I listen to people that tell me, oh my goodness, your children, I absolutely love your children. And I'm like, I absolutely love them too. But they're only part of my why. Y'all want to know what my why is? And I had to get back to this myself, you guys, because again, my why was freedom. I have that freedom. My why has to be something different now. And so my why is, and I won't cry this morning, my why is I am determined to make it past the ages that my mother and my grandmother made it. My mother passed in her 40s and my grandmother passed in her 60s. And so that meant that I needed to have the financial freedom for me to be able to pay for what I need, be able to travel and live out this world and not be stuck at a job. My mother worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time. 2 and 3 jobs in order for us to have. And I said, God, you gave me gifts and talents that I don't have to work 2 and 3 jobs no more. I did that. I went through those days of you working 2 and 3 jobs and still just barely paying the bills. Working 2 and 3 jobs and miserable. I was in the mentality that the only way, if I was at a job and I needed more money, the only way for me to get more money was to get another job. I went through that stage. God, I can't do that no more. And so part of what I put on my paper is that when my youngest graduates, I want to go to Thailand for a year. And My kids are against it. My kids are against it. They're like, but if you go to Thailand, what if you like it and stay there? And like they're spazzing out. But I gotta live. And learning to live means I want to take advantage of the life that is here. Do you realize that there are places outside of your state? There are places outside of your city. There are places outside of your country. There are places all over the world. And so freedom is going to be financial freedom now. So part of that was paying off my debt. And 2020, I will be debt free. She debt free. She debt free. That was part of my list. Is not wanting to have to take out a loan to go on a vacation. That's part of my list. So when I look at that and I see my mother passed in her 40s, I get up and I do the workout I'm supposed to do. I see that my grandmother passed in her 60s and she never made it out the country. My mother never made it out the country. It makes me go and do calls, even though I'm an introvert. I want you to have such a deep why that when you look at it, you feel that tear start to, you like, you sucking it in. You ladies, we doing this early in the morning because we got something deeper that we're going after. It'll also change up how you show up in this world. Because when my why got a little deeper, I stopped letting it be about a weekend launching a class, or I stopped letting it be about this. I was really zoned in on unmuting the voice of women. So everything I do is for that. And everything I'm being recognized for is for that. So y'all got work to do. Remember, you're writing down, what's your why? What is your why? And you're looking at that why in the morning. Is if it's not deep enough to make you get up an hour earlier, a half hour earlier, stay up, half hour later, go back to the drawing board. So that was what I had for you guys this Friday. You guys know that we have been rocking and rolling with this morning press. This is, guys, do you realize we've been doing morning press for about 5 years now, y'all? We've been doing the morning press since 2015-ish. Yeah, about the end of 2015. Super excited though, because we're definitely hitting on some important topics, and I'm hearing the feedback. Literally, I have people who are messaging me like, yo, I started following you when you were doing morning press over on Periscope. I've been following since then. I've been a fan for that long. But I'm super excited to see you guys do some amazing things in your lives, in your businesses, and your brands. This year is all about completion. It's all about elevation for me, but it's all about completion for all of those that are attached. Let's go. We got things to do. Join the free Facebook community. Join the community. Join the community. Join the conversation. bit.ly/World Voice Community. It's a free group. Definitely in there, they have some great conversations. There is a global community. Men and women are in the community, and they bring up topics of all different proportions. And I'm super excited because guess what? Even more have been coming in. And as we rock this thing out for 2020, I told y'all first quarter, I'm not 250 voices unmuted. I got a summit I'm doing tomorrow. I got a training I'm doing later today at noon. Shout out to Boss It Live TV and Boss It Live community. Janine Cummings over in the UK, you know. And then I also have a podcast that I just did from the UK, so from London. So you guys will hear information about that. Let's go. Global brand, global brand. Let's go. We got things to do. So until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.